Let's invite our next guest, David Lee, CEO and co-founder at Next. David, nice to meet you. Take your seat.
Hello.
All right. David looks very sharp. Would you like to introduce yourself briefly to our audience?
Sure. So my name is David, and I start my first company before I graduate from the college. I did graduate though. And then sold my first company to Apple 2008. Worked for Apple for 8 years. Spent 3.5 years of my life in Apple, basically just building demo for Steve Jobs. And then left Apple when I feel I'm still young. I left Apple when I'm 35 years old, 2017, and started this next company, which called Next. And it's been 7 years already.
Well, I noticed that you emphasize you did graduate.
Yeah.
So as we know, some entrepreneurs, they drop out their education and start their own business, and some of them get success and some of them not. Do you recommend that?
I don't know. I just happen to
Since
graduate.
you don't know why you emphasize on you did graduate.
Yeah, I do like studying. So the school is not too hard for me. So just like, okay, just convenient to just also graduate with a degree. Also, I don't want to disappoint my dad and mom too. So I did go for that route to graduate. And yeah, but I started my company before I graduate. I actually met my co-founders in school. And we're still working together till this day, more than 20 years already.
So some young men quit college, quit university. They start their own business, and we know many examples, successful examples.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion about that?
About
Quitting job,
quitting.
doing startups, quitting education, quitting college.
Well, to start something, you always need to quit something, right? It's just always that sacrifice, always making those choices. And those are big choices. And yeah, even leaving Apple is a pretty big choice for me as well. But like, it's also a lifestyle that you choose. Is your own personal pursuit of something that you really want to do. And I just happens to make a few of those choices in my life, and really enjoyed those journey. It taught me.
Obviously, that's a question you're not prepared. I see. All right. So would you like to talk about yourself? I would like to know what kind of person you are. Or do you think what kind of person in other people's eyes you are?
Well, I can only know how I think about myself.
Uh-huh.
I'm a very optimistic person.
Okay.
Very optimistic, sometimes overly optimistic. Believe that I can change the world, believe I can do something really, really great, believe I can solve those problems, and really confident about like the the team and myself can possibly achieve, but also like paranoid enough, which don't make those stupid mistakes. And that's why we can, we have a company that survived for 7 years already. Survived the pandemic, survived like the economic macro environment downturn, and we're still going. So
is optimism necessary for every entrepreneur to get their success, to drive them constantly, pursuing their goal?
Well, absolutely. I don't think that's basically the probably number one fundamental things that you would have the hopes for the future. You think that you can do something, you think you can change something, and you go ahead and do it because you think that you can. So I think that was like one very fundamental things of what entrepreneur would need to have is basically the optimism of the future, the hope to go after what you want to do.
So what kind of a leadership do you think you have?
Wow, that's a really good question. The best just kind of talk about the founders and the team. You want to be very honest. You would not, you just want to be open. You just want to be, because I think that honesty, that transparency really empowers people. And that's the first one, the number one thing that is really like leadership is about, is be honest and have a clear mission of why we are doing this. And that's very important as well. And we always need to emphasize on the why. Why certain things important? Why certain things worth doing? Because once you have a common understanding of that, the rest become a little bit easier. The rest is just more like problem solving, right? And that's becoming something very objective. Once you understand, okay, this is the why we're doing this, and then the rest is like, what follows. You also want to lead people with respect as well, that you care about them, and when you love them, they love you back. It's always like, the loyalty is just a two-way road. It's a two-way road. And that's why, team grow bigger and bigger. And like, it's full of people I really fond of. I really love working with. Day in, day out, we can have like honest conversations, sit together, have a walk and, talk about life, talk about the problem that in front of us, share the concerns. Those are those really valuable, really happy moments. That's like a big part of the journey itself. That's all the things that we really enjoy doing. Not just like, oh wow, we have big goals and go after that, and at the end of the day, it's just those small moments that working with your team, doing something great together, and enjoying seeing the results is a big part of the entrepreneurial journey.
Yes, we know startup can never be easy, especially when you are long. So that's why everybody need partners, right? So what kind of partners do you need?
I don't know how. I really don't really think too much about that. Life is always a journey. You will meet people, and I just lucky, to be meeting my co-founders when we are still in school. Well, part of me is just I want to work with really smart people. So, some of them say, wow, he's really smart. I would approach him like, the one of the co-founder, Tony. And I am in Hong Kong U, and he is in Chinese University in Chinese U. So, from Hong Kong U go to Chinese U probably take 2 hours. And I went there 10 times trying to convince him to join the team. And we're still working together over 20 years already. Sometimes it's just like the appreciation of somebody have the capabilities that can augment you and can together combine is one plus one more than two, would be like the dynamic, the chemistry I'm looking for. And I happen to just having a team, a lot of these people join the companies also have those chemistry with me or with the rest of the team.
All right, so let's talk about your career. Motion entertainment. Wow, that's fancy, what is your opinion on the future of motion entertainment? Do you think it's a future of games?
It's the future of games, also it's past. Okay.
Wow.
When human beings first started thinking about games, yes, they sometimes create tools to play, but in a lot of ways, like sports is a game. All kinds of sports is games too, and those are the games you play with your body. Those are the games you play with other people, and it all started that way. And obviously, when digital comes and electronics comes, and those becoming, you play games on a console, you play games on your phone, you play games on VR, and motion games have not left. It's always there, either really physical form as a sports, and over 10 years ago there's a Wii, and then there's a Kinect, and even you can also say that the VR is all motion games because it's just like really using your body to play, and it's achieved a higher immersion into it. But the VR is also quite a lot of friction. You wear the goggles, like holding those controllers to be fully immersive. And the way that I think we think about it is just one kind of, what if we flip it around? To simulate the immersiveness, we need a big screen. And yes, this could be a really big screen because put right in front of your eye. But another big screen that you own is your TV. It's a really big screen. And we think about, like, hey, if we add camera to the TV, and the camera can track your motion, and now the TV can just become more like a window into another world, and you can immerse in it. And that's kind of how we think about from the past and all the way to the future, and then we kind of flip. We are reverse. It's like, yes, it's feel like VR, but we are not. We are trying to wearing the headsets, because we want to deliver those experiences for the younger kids, and also for the elderlies. When we think about gaming, we make it more inclusive, because when I become a parent, and I want to create something for my kids, I want to create something for my moms, and it would be fantastic. We can create something they can all both play together, even though they are really kind of far apart. Kind of even hard to even imagine that I can get my mom to be holding a PlayStation controllers. I can't imagine that. But my mom is now the players of many of my games. So is my 7-year-old daughter. So I have my 7 years old and my 70 years old mom, playing games, and kind of waiting for a chance to kind of create something they can play together, even though my daughter is in the U.S. and my mom is in Hong Kong.
Well, people used to talk about metaverse a lot and believed it is a future of humanity. But now it seems like it's cooling down. What if the same thing happened in motion entertainment?
Well, as I mentioned, the motion, the way kind of to play game with your body is a concept that's been there for a long time. It left, right? Sports, Kinect, VR, and now we're just creating a form of motion entertainment or motion games, or we call it active play experiences. That is a lot more accessible to the young kids, more accessible for the elderlies. And the way that you can think about it is metaverse is a very loaded word, so I don't know what it means now. We would just call it experiences created as games where you find valuable, you find that is challenging you, is challenged to be better, and you can go again at it and be better at it. And that's kind of the active play experiences Next is creating.
As we know, you have initiated IP cooperation with Sesame Street,
Yep.
Hasbro. So any exciting thing you want to share with us about that?
Yeah, well, we actually just have a press release just came out last night, and we announced 8 games that will be shipping in the summer, in the next few months. 2 games from our collaboration with Hasbro, 2 games with our collaboration with Sesame Street, which we build 2 active learning games for the community. And we also bring in Food Ninja. So Food Ninja actually is the game that is the kind of a defining game for motion. You can think about Food Ninja when they first shipped on a mobile phone, you just swipe like this. Yes, it's fun. But what if that, actually real food for you can just use your body to slice them. It's even better. So, Food Ninjas, have been in Kinect, have been in the MetaQuest, have been in Apple Vision Pro, and when we ship this hardware, we are bringing Food Ninja onto our platform as well. And obviously we have our own original IP game, sports game. We're shipping bowling as well. So there's some certain unique game genre that what we created here is the best platform to play them. Like kids and family games. One single camera capture the whole family, and no controllers required, and 4 people can play at the same time. Sports simulation, because you want to play sports, feel like you're playing sports, not that, I'm playing a tennis game with a controller. It just feels weird. But we can create games where you can, use left hand, right hand to throw the ball, left hand to smash it, moving left and right to play. It's a lot better ways to kind of play a live tennis game in front of your TV. We also do fitness games as well, exploring multiple ways to get you active, in front of TV. So that's really, really fun.
You have worked for Apple, right? So, any comment on this working experience? Did it play an essential role in starting up your new business?
I learned a lot of things in Apple.
Okay.
One of the things that I learned is the pursuit of excellence. Doing something really, 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 really great, and and just kind of try to kind of do everything. Just kind of to, for example, this is like a a manifest of that. Like it's a very simple, very clean hardware, and this is basically some of the things that I think would obviously our VP design also come from Apple as well. He championed the design of the product. And everything we do, I think we're just carrying a lot of our Apple DNA with us, but not to the extreme where like we still need to be very pragmatic. Like there's a lot of things Apple can do we cannot afford, so we just need to be. We want to deliver that kind of experiences, and with our best of our ability.
So you have raised more than $40 million, right, for your startups. How did you invest? How did you persuade the investors to put money on you?
I would say that we have been very lucky. We have been very lucky. And when we focus on creating something great, and people will take notice, people will want to be part of a team, and we managed to raise our Series B round at in 2021. It's like really good year. Before it just become a lot harder. It's because at that time, the pandemic comes and we have millions of people download our apps, and we went viral in multiple places, like tens of millions or 100 millions of play sessions playing our motion games on a mobile phone, which is obviously not the best platform to play it. The screen is too small. So after all these years, we can use the fund and crystallize our vision into our simple hardware that really deliver the best experience that we can create for the mass market. And once we are putting product out there, it's being loved by the user, and we send samples out to all major retail stores, and then all of them want to carry the product. And eventually, what really attract investors is that you have product that's well loved by the users. That's basically is just demonstration of product market fit. When the product market fit, then every conversation become a little bit easier.
All right. So in the end, would you like to give some advice for young entrepreneurs?
My advice, wow. I always kind of do.
It's a long story, I know. Make it short.
The same advice I always give is just if you want to do it, just do it. And I don't think if you regret it, you will regret it. But if you do not start, then that would be also your end of your story as well. So you want to pursue it, just go, and you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. You will find happiness. And treasure those journey, treasure not really the result, but the journey, why you're doing it. And understanding that is, I think, really, really important. Finding your why is really important. Once you find it, just go after it.
Okay, thank you very much, David. Thank you.